I'm Joshua Bardwell, and you're going to learn something today. Your first 10 FPV freestyle tricks. And even if you are not brand new to FPV and you know a few freestyle tricks, I still think you should watch this video because these aren't just 10 random freestyle tricks that I pulled out of a hat. They actually build on each other, and each one teaches a certain fundamental skill that will make you a better pilot. So even if you know a few FPV freestyle tricks, I still think you should check this list out, because you may have missed one of these, and you may be missing a fundamental skill in your sort of piloting toolbox. Let's go. So we're not going to mess around with a lot of talking. We're going to get right into the list. And the very first trick that I want you to learn is gaps, hitting gaps. Now you're probably thinking, wow, a little tiny, impressive, super... Yeah, let me just go under this fence rail. No, that's not what I mean. Start with big gaps, because at the end of the day, hitting a gap just means making the quadcopter go where you intend for it to go. And so working on gaps will just start to make you a better pilot overall. And if you can't, like, pick a gap, like this, look at this gap between these two branches. It's a giant gap. Don't worry. As a beginner, it may freak you out just a little bit. When you do a gap, in the beginning, you're going to want to line up at a great distance from the gap and just fly straight at it, making as few adjustments as you can. And paying attention to if you're like offline for the gap. So if as I'm getting close to the gap, oh look, I'm climbing, right? Rather than trying to make just a rapid correction, just go around. Just miss the gap, go around, stop. Just line up that gap, be heading straight towards it. Find the position on your sticks that causes you to just go right to that gap and go through it. And as you get better and better, you can start working on smaller and smaller gaps, tighter and tighter gaps, more and more impressive situations. You know, but just be able to fly through gaps. That's step one. Number two, flips and rolls. In order to do flips and rolls, I want you to start by getting some altitude so you have plenty of time. You're going to lower throttle and push your stick all the way over so your quadcopter does a flip. Or you can pull your stick all the way front or back so you do a roll. Okay, those are flips and rolls. Now, you want to get some altitude because if you have low rates, you may need a minute, a few seconds to actually finish the flip or roll. This is one of the moves that's easier to do if you have a little bit higher rates. But even with relatively low rate, you should be able to do a flip or a roll relatively easily. Okay? So you're going to just go up in the air and do flips and rolls. Now, it's so easy. How can you make them better? You can focus on stopping with the horizon exactly where you mean for it to be. Right? Stop with the horizon perfectly level, so you don't want to overshoot. That's an overshoot. See, I ended up looking at the sky. And you don't want to undershoot. Well, that was actually not much of an undershoot. And the faster you go, the harder that's going to be. See, I'm actually not really good at snapping. Ooh, a big bounce back too. What was that about? I'm not actually great at doing real fast